Hi everyone, good afternoon. I'm vlogging today, and for a number of reasons. One, I just want to give you a little bit of some update with my unit, which is currently being renovated. So we'll go upstairs later, and also I'm about to leave for Japan, so I'm going to be packing. So come back with me. Let's hang. And I'm actually very excited to go to Japan for a number of reasons. One is that, of course, it's the Brush Festival. And then second is I'm going to be there with my partner, and we haven't traveled to Japan in a very long time. The last time we were there together was 2011. So it was a long, long time ago. So I'm very, very excited for this. And also, I'm so excited for this pilgrimage that we're doing at Kumano Kodo. So there's a lot of firsts for us in this trip, and I'm really looking forward to this. So well, by the way, this is not our unit. So I am at an Airbnb right now, and look at all of our stuff. It's so messy here. My makeup kit is there. I have so many bags there. I can be like a bag lady. Then I have a brush kit there. So there's still a lot of things that I have to really put together before we fly out on Friday. Now, unfortunately, I cannot keep a lot of my makeup stuff in the unit because it's so dusty. I was there the other day, and oh my gosh, I cannot. So I'm planning to leave some of my makeup stuff in the car, and I don't really need to worry about it being hot inside. It's because our parking is covered here in the condominium where we live at now. So yeah, so it's getting a little bit tight, it's getting a little bit crazy, and at this point of the video I'm still editing my Sonia vlog wherein I talked about the latest editions of her Kakishibu brushes. So I'm not hoping, but I will try my very best to put this up before I leave. And the main reason why is because I cannot bring my laptop with me when I'm traveling. I never do anyway. And the main reason why is because it's really, really heavy. And my laptop is old. And this needs to be plugged into the outlet every time I use it. If not, it shuts off completely. And at this point, I don't want to purchase a new laptop just yet because I don't need to. And frankly, the only time I use my laptop is when I'm editing videos, and so far this laptop is still doing its job. Although there are some instances some apps don't update anymore, and that's one thing that I don't like with Apple, because if you don't update your your gadgets with them, it just dies, which is it's so frustrating because they're so expensive. Apple products are so expensive. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do now is let's head upstairs and see what's going on in my unit. Okay, you guys, I'm now in my unit and it's in a state. Okay, so this is how it looks like right now. So this is now so open. Look at that. So we had a wall torn down here, and we have a wall turned down here. So if you wanted to see how this all looked like before our renovations, I'm gonna put a link down to my vlog when I just moved in here. I can also see some of the cabinets are now being installed, so that's great. So it's almost through now. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys what's inside the toilet because we also have new cabinets stored there because there's a big gypsum board crossing it. So maybe when we come back, that's the only time I could show you guys when everything is now back in order. So that's it. So This is where our bed used to be, and we will actually transfer our bed to this part of the room. And then this will be like, you know, our office space here. And the main reason why we're moving our bed from here to here is because we get so much, like, you know, afternoon sun in this portion of the room. So it gets too hot to lay down, you know, when you're resting for the afternoon. And it will just, like, you know, be very perfect that if we moved our bed to here, because just of the flow. So if I turn here, as you guys can see, that's the entrance of the unit, and then you walk in here, and then automatically, if you're going to want to go outside into the balcony, you would, like, you know, walk through here, and you'll walk through the bed. But if we move the bed here, like, you know, it's just going to be a much more, like, you know, less obstruction, less obtrusive. And it's just, like, you know, a much more better flow, because you'll just see our office here, then our cabinets there for our clothes, but you won't actually see our bed. Yeah. All right. So that's it. Let's go back to my Airbnb. So by the way, the Airbnb that we're renting is just within the same condominium where we actually live at. So it just makes things more accessible. Hi everybody, good morning. So it's the day before my flight to Japan, and I'm very excited, and this also means that it's going to be a busy and hectic day for me. Now, I do apologize, by the way, if last night I wasn't able to come back to you guys to chat up a bit after I've shown you, like, you know, the renovations going on in my unit. And the main reason why is because my partner actually arrived here at the Airbnb, and we had, like, you know, some alone time together, and, like, you know, we also had to talk some things, because my partner came from the doctors, and he actually has been having some issues with his health, like, in the past few months. And it was a little bit alarming for him, even like for me, because, you know, the symptoms were not alleviating, and, like, you know, he was always, like, you know, in discomfort and sometimes in pain, that it actually, like, you know, spearheaded him to have like a full-on checkup. So let me also say that there's no need to worry, because the doctor actually gave him a clean bill of health, which I'm so grateful for, because like, you know, I was really, really worried, and if I was worried, he was extremely worried. So anyway, so according to the doctor, like, everything that he was, like, you know, feeling at the time must have been caused by stress. So of course, like, you know, if you've been following me here, like, you know, my journey on YouTube, you would have known that, like, you know, we were trying to sell the house. It took so long for the house to get sold, and then, like, you know, after it got sold, we had to purchase our, like, you know, condo unit, and then we had to think about, like, you know, moving stuff, and then we had to move some of our stuff to our home in the province. And not only that, but, like, you know, one of our beloved fur babies passed. So it was a lot going on, like, you know, in a year. So I'm just so glad, though, that we've managed to survive it. And despite everything that has going on for us at that time, like, you know, we're still here, we're still together, and, like, you know, we're just trying to take, like, you know, everything one day at a time. And I think that's the best thing that we can do, like, you know, in everything that's happening, like, you know, in the world today. Yeah, but anyway, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be packing. Although I do have to say that I've already, like, you know, packed my stuff, but I just need to double check things, because not only am I going to be going to Japan because it's the Brush Festival, and it's also Cosme Week, the makeup trade show in Osaka, but my partner and I were doing a pilgrimage at Kumano, Kodo. So I need to see if everything that I need for the pilgrimage is actually in my luggage. So we'll go through that a little bit later. And also, I just remembered right now that I actually need to head to my colleague's home maybe later this evening, because I have some makeup to actually, like, you know, give him, because he is taking my place at the shoot that I am working on. So I explained this briefly in my vlog wherein I featured the latest Kakishibu brushes that were released by Sonia G, wherein I was working on a film last August, and then there were some shooting days that had to be rescheduled. And when they gave me the new schedules, I was so surprised that it was like 3 weeks from the last time we shot. And what happened was the schedules for our shoot actually coincides with the Brush Festival and with the Cosme Week in Osaka. So after going through my flights and also hotel bookings, things like that, it's a little bit impossible to cancel because it's gonna be quite costly for me, and I won't be getting any of my money back. And that's why I decided, with the permission of the production, that I would pass on the torch to a trusted colleague of mine because it's just not financially viable for me. And also this is our anniversary trip this year, my partner and I, and this is our 19th year together. And what makes this trip extra special is that we're actually doing the pilgrimage in Kumano, Kodo. And that one, we've been wanting to do for years. It's always been at the back of our mind, and I'm so glad that it finally pushed through this year, quite surprisingly as well, because I've explained this before. So if you want to see my reasons and why we're doing this year, I'm gonna put the link down on the description box to my other vlogs that's related to us doing the pilgrimage. Okay, right, so what I'm gonna do first is I need to head up and do the laundry, and I have it in this wicker basket here. And the main reason why is because I don't like leaving dirty laundry whenever we travel. And the reason being is that the Philippines is a very humid country, and whenever there is humidity, molds will actually grow. So let's go and head up to the laundry area. So welcome to my humble drying cage, as they say. So this is the laundry area that came with our unit, and I'm just gonna pop in the laundry. So the washing is in, and I have an hour before this finishes, so let's go back and start packing. Alright, okay, so now it's time for us to double check everything that I have packed and see if I have everything that I need. So I actually started packing 2 weeks ago in my home in the province, and the main reason being is that I knew that I won't have space when I am here at the Airbnb, and for sure I would be pressed for time. So everything that I'm going to bring is already pre-packed in packing cubes, such as this, and this. So in total, I will be in Japan for 16 days. So around 6 days of that, or maybe 7, it's gonna be related to doing the pilgrimage in Kumano, Kodo. So I'm actually not planning of bringing a lot of clothes, and the main reason why is one, you can always do the laundry when you are in Japan. It's very easy, and I always do it, and that's why my goal when I put things in my luggage, that should only weigh at most 15 kilograms, because for the flights that we're taking, we're only allowed 20 kilograms of luggage. And for sure, I'm going to be doing some shopping in Japan, so we need some space for us to put all of those new goodies that we have. Right, so let's double check everything that I'm bringing. So in this packing cube, I have a number of long sleeve polo shirts. So let me just open this. So I have this linen shirt, that I got from Uniqlo. It's a lovely color. It works very well with my olive undertones. And then I also have another long sleeve shirt, which is in stripe, in light blue and white. And I also recently purchased a new linen long sleeve from Uniqlo. Very nice shade. When I saw this online, I thought it was going to be a little bit brighter, but no, it's not. It's almost a color of denim, and it's actually still okay. I wish it was a little bit brighter because it just goes well with my skin and also of my sunny disposition. But this is fine. And the main reason why I'm bringing a number of long sleeves, 3 pieces actually, is because it's still gonna be hot at this time in Japan, and you know that sun damage is permanent, so we need all the coverage that we need. And this is also basing off of my previous experiences, when I go to especially the brush festival, wherein you're walking in open ground, you're walking in the countryside, so you're always exposed to the sun. And that's why every time I go there, I also bring a parasol, and I also wear a hat. So the hat that I'll be wearing is still the same Panama hat that I wear all the time. I bought this in Aix-en-Provence in France, I think 2 years ago, and I absolutely love it. And I love the color of the piping of this hat. So the color of the piping here for sure will match with any of the clothes that I show you guys, and most especially the pants that I'll be wearing is either white, cream, or even a dark blue. So I actually have that here. So here they are. Now these pants are not new. If there's one thing that you have to know about me, is that I don't really go shopping much for clothes. It's very rare, and I have a tendency of actually wearing down clothes to the point that I only stop wearing them if it's irreparable, or I've gained some weight. So the fortunate thing for me is that I have maintained my weight and the size of my body for years. Although I do have to admit that the past few years my body has changed, wherein my pants get a little bit tighter now, and it's fine. It just comes with age. So I just need to work out more in order to maintain my body. So yeah, that's it. And I also have a pink cardigan here that I would love to wear with my white palazzo pants. So I'm looking forward to that. And what else do I have here? I have white shirts here, by the way. Here they are. So if you've seen me here on YouTube, all I wear is white shirts, and the main reason why I do is because I sweat a lot, especially in my pit area. And if I wear colored shirts, you're gonna see pit marks all over, and I don't want that. The main reason why I have so much white shirts is because I like to wear them under my linen shirts, because for sure I'll be sweating when I'm gonna be walking around Japan, and I don't want my sweat to go onto the linen shirt, because that's going to make all of my sweat stains very, very visible. Okay, I also have one striped t-shirt here, so a little bit nautical in concept. So I have 2 stripes here, and the main reason why is because Hiroshima is actually close to the water. So if I do decide to wear this, I have that nautical theme going on. Okay, yeah, so in total I have 3 long sleeve shirts, and I have 3 t-shirts. Yeah, that's correct. Now I have 4 t-shirts because I already have 1 white shirt here hanging together with the other pants that I will be wearing to the flight tomorrow. And also, one thing, by the way, it's very important that you wear compression socks when you are flying, because it's just very comfortable on the plane, and you won't get any swelling on your feet or pain after you've worn that. Even if my flight from the Philippines to Osaka will only take 4 hours, I could actually feel a difference in my feet or legs whenever I don't wear compression socks. So Flight socks are now very important for me. I wear them when I fly for like, more than 2 hours. So if it's under an hour, it's fine, but anything longer than that, I need to wear compression socks. Okay, right. So in this pink packing cube with my name, which is a gift from my actress that I worked with during the talk show that I was on, very briefly. What I have here are even more packing cubes. So I have here, my underwear and swimming trunks. I also have, some handkerchiefs here. So yes, I have a lot of hankies with me. I also have socks in this packing cube. And the main reason why is because I need to wear, a hanky on my head before I could wear a Panama hat. And the main reason why is because the Panama hat is a little bit too big for my head size. I have a very small head, guys. So even caps, I find it quite difficult to find the right size for me. So having a hanky on top of my head really keeps the Panama in place, and also helps keeping my sweat from actually seeping into the lining of my Panama hat. Okay, because I noticed, especially here, again, as I said earlier, it's very humid. So if I sweat through this and my sweat, seeps through the lining here, I would see molds on this. So I used to have one Panama hat that, had molding because of that, and I actually ended up throwing it away because you don't want to wear molds on your head. So I've found a solution in actually keeping my Panama hat in good condition at all times. Okay, so the other things that I have here, I have shorts. I have boxer shorts for sleeping. I have more socks here, and then most especially I have my Uniqlo Airism sleeveless shirts. So I love bringing this when I'm traveling, and I wear my Airisms a lot because it's actually very easy to wash, and it's also very quick to dry. And sometimes when you're traveling, there are some accommodations where they don't have any washing machines available. So if I need to hand wash something to wear the following day, an Airism shirt is actually the best bet. And I try to travel light as possible, and I don't really travel for doing fashion content, things like that, because it's not what I do. And basing off of my lifestyle, I have to be comfortable. I can't really wear expensive clothing when I'm going to work because I would get a lot of makeup stains on them, and once that happens, it's very difficult to actually wash the stains off of these types of clothing, and you end up getting very, very frustrated. Okay, all right, so those are the things that I'm going to be wearing, especially when I'm going to be in the city. Now let's talk about the clothes that I am going to be wearing when my partner and I are going to be doing the pilgrimage in Kumano, Kodo. So I have that packed in this portion of the packing cube, and let's go through it. Okay, first things first, again, I have more Airism shirts, and this is the one that I'm going to wear the entire time. So I believe I have 4 of these. I have one in gray, I have one in white, I have one in beige, I have one in black, and I have one in blue. So it seems like a lot, but I don't know if maybe in the middle of the trek while we're walking I might need to change, because I don't know, I get too sweaty, it's too wet. So it's nice to have options when you're doing it. And again, it's very light, it's very easy to dry, so it doesn't really add so much weight into my luggage. And the other thing that I also bought recently is a UV parka, also from Uniqlo. I am a Uniqlo baby. I swear, everything that I purchase for myself is always at Uniqlo. And the main reason why is because they have my size. I am, I don't know if you can tell, but my body structure is actually quite, small. And usually in the men's section, I go for an extra small or small whenever they don't have that size. So, yeah, and if I buy clothing in the women's section, I would be a medium. But now, because my body has changed, it's more comfortable for me to buy a large at the women's section. So anyway, so this is my UV parka. Again, you have to protect yourself when you're doing the pilgrimage at Kumano, Kodo. And it's actually stated on the pamphlet that you get when you purchase the pilgrim pack if you're interested in doing the pilgrimage at Kumano Kodo. This UV parka is also quick to dry, and for sure it will serve its purpose. It has a nice hood on it, and I love the color of it. It's beige, so I think you guys have seen the color theme that I'm going for, for this trip. So I have a lot of beiges in my luggage and some blues. So those are the very nice contrasting colors that will work. Anyway, so let me fold this back. Now I also bought 2 pairs of cargo pants for the hike. So one in black and one in khaki, but the khaki color here, it looks too chocolatey, because khaki for me would be something like this, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so this is actually quite affordable, and I was actually debating of getting some cargo pants from Uniqlo, but they were too expensive at I think around $30, I think, or a little bit under that. So I didn't want to spend so much, because I don't know if this hiking thing is going to be a one-time thing, or if it's going to be something that we might do often than not. So I decided to purchase cargo pants, which is affordable, and this is around $10. And this is also $10, so which is not bad. And I actually fitted this as soon as I got it, because I only purchased this online, and it actually fit quite well. So the band of this is actually adjustable, which is great. So it's actually very comfortable on the waist, and then you have pockets here for whatever you need to store while you're hiking. And I think the best thing about this is the material, because it's a little bit lightweight, and I think it repels some water. It's not water resistant, but it repels water a little bit. So if it rains, it's still going to keep my legs quite warm and free from the cold. So that's the only concern. And my partner was actually thinking of wearing shorts, and I told him it's best not to do so, because according to the website for Kumano Kodo, or even the pamphlet, you have to dress properly and in layers, because the temperature might change and we're walking up on the mountain. And of course we have to be even more careful, because there will be insects buzzing around while we're walking. So I'm so happy that I was able to find this. I was actually thinking of purchasing some cargo pants from Uniqlo, but they were too expensive at $30, and if I purchase 2, that's already $60, so that's already quite a lot. So I think these would be sufficient for me. And as a side note, this is actually my second order, because the first order that I got it in a medium size, because I was checking out the size guide online, and they said that for my waistline, which is a 28, I need to buy a medium size pants. So when I received it, it was actually too big for me, that it actually fit my partner better than on me. So I actually had to purchase another pair of cargo pants, and these 2 pants are actually in a size small. They're still a little bit big for me, but they're comfortable on the waist, so that's important, because after all we'll be walking for hours at a time at the pilgrimage. Also, one thing by the way, I have jock straps here. So jock straps are what I'm going to wear when we're doing the walking, because underwear might not be a good idea, especially with the fact that we'll be hiking up the mountain. So which means that I might be overextending my legs, and basing off of experience, working out with your underwear on, you'll end up ripping the seams in the middle of your underwear. So I wouldn't like that to happen, especially that my underwear, I splurge on them sometimes. So I buy a little bit expensive types of underwear, and I want to keep them with me for as long as they can. So jock straps are actually very, very important. Okay, right, so let me put these now in the luggage. Oh wait, by the way, so I purchased a walking stick. So this is a telescopic walking stick. So this is actually also quite affordable. It's almost the same price as my cargo pants. So I bought one for my partner as well. And this could just, be very helpful when we're doing the walk. And this also serves its purpose of trying to check what's in front of you in the trail, because basing off of the official guide of the Kumano Kodo, there will be pit vipers along the route. So at least, you know, with a walking stick, you can just, you know, poke them out of the way if you see them on the trail. Or even like, you know, spiders, you can just, you know, remove some of the cobwebs when you walk through the trees. So it's like, you know, a two-in-one product. And for sure this will be very, very helpful. Okay, now I also did purchase two knee support pads, and the main reason why is because my knee started hurting 2 weeks ago. I think I twisted it a little bit when I was going up the stairs in our home in the province, and that really worried me because it was a little bit painful for a few days, and I was trying to assess why it happened. And I have noticed that when I go upstairs, I tend to do it on my tiptoes. And I think at the time, one of my dogs was like, you know, running around with me on the stairs, my white dog Milou, and I might have like, you know, twisted it at an odd angle. So I decided to get these because just in case, I don't want anything to happen to my knees while I am walking. And of course, because again, we'll be walking for hours, anything that can relieve pressure off of your knee is going to be like, you know, a good idea. So by the way, my knees don't hurt anymore, but it just pays to be careful. Okay, right. So the other thing was at the bottom of my luggage is a flashlight. You also need this when you're walking on the trail, especially towards the tail end of the day, wherein if we are walking way too slow and it might get dark, we need to have like, you know, some light. And I actually don't want to use the light that comes with a mobile phone, because we need to keep our batteries like, you know, as full as possible just in case of an emergency. Okay, right, so let me put all of these back into the luggage now. And I also have an umbrella, by the way, very needed. Pack everything now. Now, in terms of bag, I am going to be bringing this very old and very well-loved tote bag in canvas from the brand Champion. This was a gift from a cousin of mine, and I actually, like, you know, bring this all the time when I'm traveling because it's just so perfect. I actually put a cardboard at the back of it just to give it structure. Anyway, so I love bringing this because it's very easy to fold and it's also very lightweight. So I was actually thinking that I was gonna bring one of my, like, you know, luxury quote-unquote bags, like, you know, my Louis Vuitton bag. I actually have a crossbody bag, but I am debating in my head that I'm gonna leave it because it will not serve any purpose for this trip, especially with the fact that we're doing the pilgrimage right after doing the Brush Festival and the Cosme Week beauty trade show in Osaka. So anything that's light for me will actually be useful, and this is more appealing than that Louis Vuitton crossbody bag. Okay, so for shoes, I'm going to be wearing this most of the time. So this is my Nike Air Max. So I bought this in Tokyo 2 years ago, or was it a year ago? I think a little bit over a year ago, not 2 years ago. And I love it. I love the color of it. Again, we have the beige theme going on. So it's actually perfect, and it's actually quite lightweight, and it's very comfortable on the feet. And I'm also going to be bringing my espadrille. So this is from Zara, and this is like gonna be my slippers, quote unquote, when I am there, because I need something that's very easy to slip in and slip out, especially that, like, you know, in Japan, you're not allowed to bring your shoes inside the accommodations that you are staying at. So anything that's easy to slip on and slip out is good, especially if I just need to rush to do some, like, you know, last minute shopping at 7-Eleven, like, you know, for water, for, like, you know, a yogurt drink, things like that. So that should be good. And then for the actual pilgrimage hike, I'm just thinking of wearing my rubber shoes. So this is my Adidas Climacool, and the main reason why is because one, it's very light. Second, I've been wearing this for like a little over a year, so my feet has adapted to it, and the shoe has adapted to my feet, so that's very important. And also you have like, this is like a mesh material here, so the sweat that my feet will create will just evaporate through here, because I don't want smelly feet at the end of the day, and I don't want my sweat to seep into the soles of the rubber shoes, because usually if that happens, it's really gonna stink up the entire shoe. Yes, I hear you. I know there's a question going on asking why don't I buy hiking shoes. Well, first and foremost, I don't hike a lot, so I don't see any purpose of buying a hiking shoe just for doing this one-time thing. And hiking shoes are very expensive, so I think in the States it a base price is around $200, and $200 here in the Philippines is already a very expensive amount of money, wherein $200 is 3 weeks worth of grocery for my partner and I. So I can't come into terms in buying a shoe like that, although I know that it has some benefits, like it really grips onto the trail, it really protects your ankle, things like that. But after doing my research about Kumano Kodo and watching videos, I have even seen some people doing the Kumano Kodo wearing sandals, and the monks wear weave sandals. And I said to myself, I'm going to just ensure that I'm gonna wear the shoes that I'm comfortable with, and if I do like the experience of doing this hike, and if my partner and I are planning to do another hike in the future, I'm going to purchase some hiking shoes or hiking boots. But for now, this will work for me. And the most important thing is that I'm not going to be breaking a new shoe while I'm doing the hike, because blisters are going to be an issue, especially if you're using a new shoe. So I don't want to have that problem. I know that I should have prepared for this for an extended period of time, but as I've said in a previous vlog, a portion of our trip to Japan, this pilgrimage, is actually a last-minute addition that I didn't really have time to prepare, especially with the fact that I was working in August. So I really didn't have time to break in any new shoe that I would have purchased for this. Yeah, okay. Right, so let me put the shoes now in the bag. Alright, so I moved into this portion of my Airbnb. So there's a little counter here, and the reason why is because I am going to be talking about my toiletries. So my toiletries are going to be inside this very nice bag of Lisa Eldridge, and I'm not gonna talk much about what is inside, because all of the skincare products that I have here, I've shown you before in a previous vlog. I have standalone videos for them, and I've also talked about them in a previous come pack with me video, so it's useless. But anyway, so the majority of my skincare in their original packaging is actually found in this Guerlain bag here, and I actually had to decant them into smaller bottles. So if my skincare comes in a glass bottle like these two, I would actually have to decant them into glass bottles like this. And if the skincare that I'm using is found in a plastic bottle, I will decant them into a plastic bottle like this. So that's just one thing that I would like to share, and the main reason why, because there are some ingredients in your skincare that might interact with the chemistry of its packaging. So if your skincare comes in a glass bottle, always decant it into a glass bottle. If it's in plastic, then it's fine, okay? And the main reason why I had to decant them into like, you know, plastic bottles or even like, you know, smaller bottles is because like, you know, I will be putting this also in my like, you know, hiking backpack, which I would have to carry while we are doing the pilgrimage in Kumano Kodo. So with Kumano Kodo, there's a starting point of the trail wherein you'll be walking for at least like, the first trail is I think around 14 kilometers or 15. So at the end of that trail, I'm going to check in into my accommodations, and then that's going to repeat itself until we finish the route, which means we'll not be bringing our luggage when we're doing the pilgrimage at Kumano Kodo. So we'll actually leave our big ass luggage like, you know, somewhere, and all that we need for the pilgrimage is actually going to be found in our hiking backpack. And that's why I had to lighten everything, even to the point that I'm like, you know, debating in my head if I should still bring my Shiseido Benefion's under eye cream, because the packaging of this is actually too heavy and I don't have any other like, you know, glass bottle to transfer this to. So we'll see. And also like, you know, for my like, you know, toiletries for showering, I have placed them in this small travel bag like this. And I've also like, you know, purchased some like, you know, travel sizes for like, you know, shampoo, facial wash, and a skin cleanser. So like, you know, this is like a 2-in-1 thing wherein you can use it to wash like, you know, your pits and things like that, just so that you eliminate odors. And also your feet, you can use that like, you know, at the end of the day. And also like, you know, shaving cream. What else do I have here? I have cotton buds here, I have tissue, my shavers are here. So the main reason why this is with me is because our accommodations in Kumano Kodo are onsen, so you are required to shower before you actually use like, you know, the hot pools, things like that. So again, having all of my stuff in small sizes is just gonna make it easy for storage, and I can just hang this on like, you know, in the bathroom when I'm like, you know, showering. So that's it. I still have to finalize like, you know, everything that I need to bring in terms of skincare, but so far I have everything that I need here. Now, speaking of hiking, I also purchased a hiking backpack yesterday. Here it is, very nice and very pretty. Again, the beige color is going on, and it has a little bit of teal color going on, so it's a hint of green, which will also match actually my walking stick, because the walking stick that I bought has a hint of teal on it. So this actually is a little bit expensive, wherein I bought this for like I think $90 or $80, around 3,000 pesos. I'll try to recalculate it when I'm like, you know, editing this video. So the main reason why I decided to buy one is because the backpacks that I have here are not comfortable, and like, you know, it doesn't sit properly in my bag. And then my Yan Sport backpack, I think it's just too small, and also it doesn't like, you know, offer any support. So I actually decided to take the plunge, even if I don't know if I'll be hiking again after this. And the main reason why is because like, you know, the back of this backpack has this thing here. I don't know what you call this, but it's like a mesh kind of thing. It's actually quite sturdy. And when I wore it for the first time, because when I went window shopping, like, you know, for hiking backpacks a few months ago, I was actually so surprised on how comfortable this was on the back. Look at how this backpack just, like, you know, sits on my back. And of course, like, you have these straps here that you will secure. And it just, like, you know, gives like lumbar support here in your lower back, which is actually, like, you know, so nice. The first time I tried this on, it kind of like relieved, like, you know, the pressure at my lower back, so I loved it. And of course, you also have, like, you know, straps here to add more support, which I love, because for sure when I fill this, like, you know, with clothes and with stuff, for sure this will tilt back, and the buckle here will just really keep the backpack, like, you know, in position forward, and it's not gonna, like, you know, make me tilt my back, but it's really gonna help keep my center of gravity when I am, like, you know, walking. It's so butch, yeah. I love it. So I was also thinking that maybe I would use this bag for work in the future, because look at that. very comfortable. Look at how, like, the back of this bag really hugs, like, my back. So it's actually very comfortable. And then I think the screen that I showed you guys earlier, this one here just has a way of, like, helping you not sweat at the back, and it just keeps the air flowing. Yeah, so that's what it says here at the back. Airflow system. Okay, so I'm actually, like, so happy with this purchase. And so it's a typical hiking bag wherein the top here opens. And then, like, this is the opening where you put your stuff, and then there's a, like, pull here, which it will seal everything inside. And the material of this is, like, water resistant, so at least if it rains, you have no problem with that. And then at the bottom of this bag here, we also have a zipper, like so, for access. But I don't think I'm gonna be utilizing this because I don't want anything to slip out, like, from the bottom. And I think I need to purchase maybe a lock and key, just so that, like, it keeps it secure and it doesn't accidentally open while I am walking. And of course, on the sides here, we have, like, a pocket where you can put water bottles, which is very important. And what else is here? So even, like, the sides here, they have zipper and pockets. So it's actually quite a good bag. So this is from the brand Sena, SENA. And when I went to the department store, most of the bags that they were selling were actually, like, bags for hiking, or even, like, bags for work, like, laptop bags, things like that. So it's a bag company that creates bags for people who are constantly, like, on the move. And this bag also comes with a raincoat, by the way. So this is it. So you just unravel this and then put it on top of the bag for additional, like, rain protections. When I saw this, I was very attracted to this, but I found the price tag to be too expensive, that I actually started hunting around for hiking backpacks, like, online. So I actually saw a bag similar to this. Like, it has also almost the same, like, shade range and some, like, teal highlight colors. I bought them online around, like, the first week of August, and by the first week of September, the bags were still not being shipped, and I was like, what's going on? And then, like, there on the website, they said, like, the seller is asking for, like, more days before they can ship it out. And I actually did, like, allow them to ship it, like, a little bit more later. But when the new shipping date came, like, I still didn't have any shipping invoice, so I decided to cancel it. So I guess maybe purchasing this bag is actually, like, destiny, because it seems to be of good quality. Okay, so this will also be my in-flight bag. So this is what I'll bring, like, on the plane. And this, by the way, is a 40-liter backpack. So since this will be my travel backpack, all of my essentials are going to be here. So my essentials are actually placed in this bag insert. I have my name here. This is a gift to me by an actress. I love it. So everything that I have here is, like, essentials, like wallet. My passport is here. I have sunglasses, reading glasses, and in this portion I have, like, my toothbrush, toothpaste, mini sunscreen. I also have, like, wet tissue here, and I have my IDs here. I have a ball pen. It's very important for you to bring one while you're traveling. And most importantly, I have a power bank. This is actually new. I just got this. This is from the brand Aura Share. It's a little bit heavy, but it actually does the job, because my old power bank charges so slow just because of its age. So I needed something that would charge, like, my mobile phone fast, and this kind of works. So this is also quite affordable. I bought this online, and this was, like, around, like, 1,000 pesos, which is, like, maybe $20. Is it $20? Yeah, around $20. So not bad for the price. And also the other thing that I'll be placing in the backpack is my emergency medicine kit. So what I have here inside, like, you know, I have pills for fever, colds. I have, like, you know, allergy pills here. I have ointments here just in case. And oops, sorry, that fell. I also have, like, you know, lozenges here just in case if we'll be coughing. I have, like, you know, painkillers here, and I also have these waterproof plasters, so just in case. And I also have, like, you know, antibiotics here just in case if one of us will get a very bad cough and we need to relieve it. So I actually bring this kit with me all the time, most especially when I am working, because we never know what happens when, like, you know, you're on set. So this is actually in a small, like, Lisa Aldridge pouch. I love the compact size of this. And if you decide to do Kumano Kodo in the future, like, when you're doing a hike, according to the Pilgrim Pack, you always have to have emergency medicines with you, just in case, okay? Alright, so that's basically it. So those are the things that I'm going to be bringing to my trip to Japan this year. For sure, maybe later in the afternoon, I might still edit a few pieces, like, you know, here and there, just to keep everything light. Again, my goal is 15 kilograms max. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge. So I'm gonna let you go at this point because I have to do a number of things. One, I have to check the laundry upstairs to see that it's finished. Second, I have to make some lunch. And then third, I have to fill in, like, you know, our exit immigration papers here in the Philippines. And I also have to input our, like, you know, personal details in the entry forms for Japan. So there are a lot of things going on. And also I need to, like, you know, consolidate my makeup stuff for my colleague so that it's gonna be easy for him when he's taking my place when he's shooting for me in the film that we're working on. Yeah, so that's it. So if you guys are interested to see what will happen when I'm in Japan this year, especially if you're only watching me for, like, you know, brush content, so I will be uploading, of course, a long form vlog of my time in Kumano, and I'm not too sure when I'll be able to upload that, but I'm actually planning of uploading a lot of shorts, not only here on my YouTube channel but also on my Instagram page. So if you want real-time, like, you know, updates of my adventures, do follow me there. And if you're watching me and interested in seeing my, like, you know, experience doing the pilgrimage at Kumano Kodo, please do subscribe because I'm also going to be vlogging my experience with that. Okay, yeah, so that's it for me today. I'm gonna let you guys go now. Thank you so much for hanging around with me. I truly appreciate it. And if you have any more questions about anything that I showed you guys today, makeup, brushes, whatever, the Kumano Kodo, please let me know down in the comments box and let's have a conversation about it. Alright, so I'm gonna let you guys go now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you're having a good day wherever you are. Bye.